it's about the whole experience of going to a festival. You go for the experience, you go for the vibe, you go for the you go for that trip.
In Glastonbury, bitch.
It's like you're walking into almost like sort of a fairyland. You know, it's like, you know, 1 minute you're on the street in a city, the next minute you're in a field, or many fields, at Glastonbury. It's a remarkable experience, and I think I can only describe it as that. It's not just about music, it's about the whole experience.
Yeah, first in Glastonbury! Number 7, first one, yes!
So a bear was a mighty glid, he needs a rest, or at least needs a sun. Probably think that he slipped his lid, cause he wears high heels and has no white trousers.
It started in 1970, and the entry fee was £1 and a free pint of milk. And I think Mark Bolan and T-Rex played that year. So from 1970 right the way through to 2013, so we've had like 43 festivals. The reason it's so successful, I think, has to come down to Michael Eavis. It has to come down to the boss.
It's a super place for it. It's absolutely ideal. It's a kind of a euphoria down here. You know, it's away from the awful realities of life. It's a nice place.
He's an amazing person. That I don't think I can describe him as anything else. I think maybe not in 1970, but he has a vision and he has an ethos. I mean, there's a big thing about Glastonbury. We talk about the ethos of the festival, and I think everybody he employs, everybody who works for him, he chooses the right people to continue the ethos on his behalf. So I will meet him maybe 3 or 4 times, but I'll meet him before the festival, and we'll talk about the previous year, and then we'll talk about the following year, and I'll give him my ideas and try to get some more money out of him, budget-wise. But I'd like to think that I run my area under his ethos, really, under his guidance, and I'd like to think that I run it the way that he would want it to be run. I think it was about 1989. I went to the festival as a DJ to DJ one of the stages, and the person who invited me also invited lots of other people, so there was never really an opportunity to DJ. But I happened to have my own PA and my own van and my own generator. So when the stage closed at 12 o'clock, I drove my van in front of the stage, opened the doors, set everything up, and had a rave until 6 in the morning. Probably about 3,000 people were raving, and I had loads of Bristol DJs playing. And after that year, Michael said, "Okay, I think I'll give you a job."
What we got there? Let's go.
We have like 4 festivals, and then we have 1 year off. So it's 4 years on, 1 year off. And when we have the year off, it's always a good opportunity to like sit back, take stock, see what works, what doesn't. For instance, in my own area this year, we completely changed the whole area. It used to be called the Dance Village, and now it's called Silver Haze. The name Silver Haze came about from one of the names of the field. And it was my ambition and my intention to move away from sort of the dance village, but continue to like feature everything about dance, but also to open it out a bit. So I'm now featuring a little bit of folk, I'm featuring quite a lot of reggae and roots and dub and dancehall, but I'm also, you know, keeping with what's happening up to date in the dance scene. 2 of my biggest hits last year was like Disclosure and Rudimental, and I'm so proud to have been able to put them on in my area, knowing that this year they will probably go to a much bigger stage. I'd say that like 75% of what I book in my area, which is about 240 acts, 75% of them are either represented by an agent or a manager, and maybe the other 25% is what I find, because I travel quite a lot around the world and I see a lot of different things. So if I see something I like to put myself in the audience position, and I think, will my audience like this? And if I think that's the case, then I'll book them. I'm happy to say that Fatboy Slim he's kind of like our resident DJ. So he's been playing in my field every year, possibly for about the last 15 years. He's my resident. He loves the festival. He understands the ethos. We pay him a fraction of what he's worth. It's a very, very young audience now. I would say that the average age now is probably about 18, 19, whereas maybe 10 years ago it may have been something like 25, 26. Everything is like pre-booked. So we sell out in October, 150,000 tickets sold out in 1 hour. Circus and theatre, you know, green issues, future green, permaculture, you know, the whole hippie thing is still there. You know, there's music, there's dance, there's politics. You know, Michael supports, you know, he gives thousands of pounds away each year to like good causes and charity. The main beneficiaries are Greenpeace and Oxfam and WaterAid. So he's very politically minded, and I don't think there's any other festival in the world that gives over £2 million to charity, which is what Michael does. I think in the last 12 to 15 years, the evolution of festivals, not just in England, but I think worldwide, has changed. I think that festivals used to be seen as just a bunch of hippies going in, you know, and sort of getting off their faces and, you know, taking, you know, hallucinogenic drugs and things like that. But I don't, you know, it's moved on much more than that. I mean, it's a serious business. And in England alone, there's over like 700 festivals in such a small country each year. But yeah, I don't know what pitfalls you have in Italy, but if I have any advice, it would be continue. Just continue, you know, if everybody's going this way, you just carry on going that way.